You know, if you're on a growth path, you're going to deal with something that you've heard before. It's called imposter syndrome. I deal with imposter syndrome with my clients all the time. Let's break it down. Imposter syndrome. Why does it happen? You know, you start to grow, new things happen to you, and all of a sudden you start wondering, do I deserve this? Why me? Why are they listening to me for? Can I really do this? You start to doubt yourself. Why is that? Because you're entering the uncharted waters where you are the least qualified person for a period of time. As a growth agent, when you start something new, you don't carry those credentials. So it takes some time to get there. So we doubt whether or not, we doubt Istanbul, by the way. We're in Istanbul. So we start to doubt whether or not we can really do this, right? And some of the people who are listening to me to the side are agreeing with what I'm saying. So we deal with it a lot. You know, I've coached over 150,000 of you over the 36 years that I've been a coach, and this is what comes up a lot, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you're 1 in 15 people. You're already a minority. If you're a high-performing, high-potential producer in your company, you're among a very elite group. So you deal with it more than anybody. You're always on the move, you're always making something happen. In many cases, you're a pioneer where you're the one who is starting a niche. You know, I'm currently in the middle of a few of those projects right now, and it brings a lot of self-doubt out. But I recently had a little bit of a breakthrough I'd like to share with you because I spent some time with an infantry officer, an Army officer, and she broke down to me the 3 steps that you take in order to understand your leadership qualities and at the same time is an antidote for imposter syndrome. So number 1, first step, is you need to identify your leadership attributes. Take the time to write down and say, in all of the different contexts of my life and in my business, how did I rise above? How did I stand above? What did I do to overcome challenges? What was it I did? What was it about me that allowed me to overcome these tough situations in my life? Hold on. And what were the attributes and resources that I called on in order for me to get past whatever situation it was? Take those times because your attributes are transferable, right? If you were great in your personal life or as an athlete, that's something that you could translate over to business. So if you're good at decision making or you're very competitive or you have a high level of urgency, these are all the attributes that will work in your favor. So number 1, make a list, understand what your leadership attributes are. Number 2, here's where it gets interesting. In step number 1, you are in what I call potential. You haven't tried anything yet. All you've done is identify what these attributes are. Number 2, step 2. This guy with the card almost ran me down. Step 2 is we want to put you in what is called a stressful environment. So you're going to put yourself in an environment where there are a number of constraints, and you are going to overcome those constraints. Those constraints are going to be money, they're going to be time, they're going to be people. In other words, you might be starting a business and you don't have a lot of cash. That's a constraint. You have to overcome that. You might not have all the people you want, so you're going to have to wear many hats. That's a constraint. Whatever your mission is, you have to make sure that you are doing what's necessary in order to overcome those constraints and put yourself in a situation where the mission is completed. That's your second phase. Your third phase is you're going to put yourself in a lethal environment. Okay, here's the ultimate test for your leadership attributes. A lethal environment is where there's money on the line, where there's someone's life on the line, where there is, if you don't follow through, if you don't, make it happen, if you don't hit your goals, then all of a sudden there are catastrophic or very severe consequences. So what could that mean? That could mean you could lose your house. That means you can lose your car. That means you can lose your relationship. That means you can, be set back financially tremendously. That means if something doesn't go right, other people could get physically hurt. That's a lethal environment, right? That's the lethal metaphor in business, right? Now there's a true lethal environment, and I'm not suggesting that you have to go into a situation with live rounds, but you're in business, that's what lethal is all about. You will always deal with imposter syndrome unless you put yourself through these 3 steps. If you put yourself through these 3 steps, you will understand the type of leader you are. You'll understand who you were meant to be, who you were born to be, and how you can reach your full potential. Until you do that, though, you will deal with these issues. So take it straight from our military, straight from one of the top infantry officers. This is one of the techniques that you can use to realize your full potential and kill imposter syndrome.